Hearts Betrayed, The Secret Affair of Boat Yongyut, Oat Pasakorn, and Mick. Sahaphap. What if the love that fans believed was unbreakable was hiding a truth too heavy to bear? What if, behind the polished smiles and carefully scripted moments, there was a web of secrets, a triangle of passion, jealousy, and betrayal that no one dared to speak about until now? This is the story that has shaken Thailand's entertainment world, the alleged secret affair that shattered one of the most beloved BL partnerships, Boat Yongyut and Oat Pasakorn. And at the center of this emotional storm, stood Mick. Sahaphap. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update in the world of your favorite celebrities. The golden duo that the world fell in love with. To understand the heartbreak, we must begin with what seemed like a fairy tale. Boat and Oat, two young actors who rose from obscurity to international stardom through one powerful performance. Their chemistry was natural, their connection undeniable. They weren't just acting lovers on screen, they made millions believe it was real. Their fan meetings drew tears and screams in equal measure. They laughed, teased, and looked at each other with a tenderness that no camera could fake. Together, they became symbols of love without labels, of friendship that blurred into something more. But what fans didn't know was that while the cameras captured affection, the quiet moments off stage were beginning to change. The entrance of Mick. Sahaphap. It all began during the filming of a 2024 variety special. Mick. Sahaphap, bright, charming, effortlessly magnetic, joined the cast as a guest star. He was everything the industry adored, articulate, kind, and sincere. From the first day on set, people noticed the chemistry between Mick and Boat. Their humor matched perfectly. Their ease together was immediate. What started as professional camaraderie soon became comfort. Oat, who had always been Boat's closest companion, reportedly began noticing the change. Sources close to the set recall moments when Oat would arrive at the studio to find Boat and Mick deep in conversation, laughing quietly in corners. It wasn't jealousy at first, it was confusion. Because for years, Boat had always turned to him first. But now, he was turning to someone else. The whispers that turned into storms. The rumors began as harmless fan speculation, as they often do. Clips surfaced of Boat and Mick exchanging long glances during interviews. A hand on the shoulder that lingered. A whispered joke. A shared look. Fans joked online, "Are we watching the birth of a new BL pairing?" But Oat wasn't laughing. Behind the scenes, insiders described tension, moments when Oat would leave rehearsals early, or quietly avoid eye contact with Boat during public appearances. And when Mick's name began trending alongside Boat's on social media, something in Oat seemed to break. One production assistant reportedly overheard Oat say quietly, "I don't mind losing a role, but I can't lose him too." The night of the rehearsal, the breaking point. The truth came to light one quiet night after a rehearsal for a fan event. The trio had been scheduled to practice a short skit together, playful, lighthearted, nostalgic. But something happened that night that would never make it to the stage. Witnesses say that after everyone left, Oat returned to the studio, only to find Boat and Mick sitting together in the dim light, talking softly. No one knows exactly what was said. But one crew member recalls hearing raised voices, not angry, but broken. Then came the silence. And when the door opened again, Oat walked out, eyes red, face pale, his phone still clutched in his hand. He left without saying goodbye. That was the night their partnership ended. The public collapsed days later. Fans noticed Oat had unfollowed Boat on social media. Their joint schedules were abruptly cancelled. Press tours that once showed them side by side were suddenly split in two. Boat appeared on camera smiling, professional as always, but the sparkle was gone. Oat withdrew from public view entirely, citing health reasons. And then came the final blow, a leaked message thread circulating online, allegedly showing a late-night exchange between Boat and Mick. The messages were vague, emotional, and unverified, but they hinted at something deeply personal. The internet erupted. Accusations flew, tears were shed, and the perfect image of Boat Oat shattered overnight. Mick speaks out. Mick. Sahaphap, known for his calmness, broke his silence first. In an emotional statement during a live stream, he said softly, "There are things that should never be assumed." I care about both of them, but not in the way people think. He paused for a long moment before adding, sometimes, being close to someone doesn't mean betrayal, it just means you were there when someone needed kindness. His words were humble, sincere, but they only deepened the mystery. Because if there was no betrayal, why did Oat leave so suddenly? Boat's confession weeks later, Boat gave an interview that would redefine how the public saw him. He didn't mention names. He didn't point fingers. But his voice trembled when he said, I made mistakes. Not because I stopped caring, but because I didn't realize how much my silence could hurt someone I loved. He looked directly into the camera, his eyes glistening, and added, you can lose someone's trust even if you never meant to break it. The nation fell silent. Was it guilt? Was it closure? No one knew. But everyone understood, something had happened that words could never fully explain. The fragile aftermath today, the three names, Boat, Oat, and Mick, still carry the echo of that heartbreak. They remain polite in public, professional on social media, but never seen together again. Fans continue to debate what really happened. Was it love? Misunderstanding? Emotional exhaustion? Or was it simply the tragedy of three souls who cared too deeply, in an industry that leaves no room for mistakes of the heart? The unspoken truth. Months after the chaos, an anonymous post appeared on a private fan forum. It claimed to be written by someone close to the trio. It read, there was no villain. No affair. Just love that arrived at the wrong time, between people who were never allowed to feel it. And maybe, that's the truth the world has missed all along. Because when hearts break under the weight of fame, it isn't always betrayal. Sometimes it's loneliness disguised as love. Sometimes it's a friendship mistaken for something deeper. And sometimes, it's the price of being human in a world that demands perfection. The final rehearsal footage months later, previously unreleased behind-the-scenes footage from that final rehearsal leaked online. In it, Boat and Oat are seen rehearsing one last time, before the storm. Oat forgets his lines and laughs. Boat playfully teases him. For a brief moment, it's like the world before everything fell apart. Then, as the clip ends, Oat says softly, almost off camera, promise me we'll still be okay after this. And Boat replies, barely audible, I'll always keep that promise, even if you forget it. The clip fades to black. And with it, so does one of the most complex, human, and heart-shattering chapters in Thai entertainment history, a story of three hearts that collided under the weight of love, fame, and fragile truth. Aftermath. The scandal had faded from the headlines, but the silence that followed was far louder than any rumor. Ren had not been seen in public for nearly a month. Theo had cancelled his fan meet in Singapore. And Mika, the quiet catalyst of it all, had retreated into rehearsals, refusing interviews, letting the gossip swirl around him like smoke. But the industry never forgets. Every red carpet, every camera flash seemed to whisper the same question, who betrayed whom? The letter. Late one night, Ren received a letter. No name. No sender. Just a single line written in careful handwriting. Sometimes, telling the truth is another way of saying goodbye. He recognized the script instantly. It was Theo's. Ren sat there for a long time, holding the letter in his shaking hands. He didn't cry. Not this time. He just whispered to the empty room, then this is really the end. Mika's confession. Weeks later, Mika finally broke his silence during a small independent interview. He didn't defend himself. He didn't deny anything. He simply said, people think I ruined something sacred. But you can't ruin what's already breaking. I just happened to be there when two people were drifting apart. The interviewer asked if he regretted it. Mika smiled sadly. Regret? No. Because love isn't always about choosing the right person. Sometimes it's about learning you weren't the right person at all. That clip went viral within hours. And for the first time, the world saw Mika not as the villain, but as a human being, fragile, flawed, and honest. The award night. 3 months later, fate decided to play its cruelest trick. All three men were invited to the same awards ceremony. Ren, nominated for Best Actor. Theo, presenting the award, and Mika, performing the theme song from their once-beloved series. The tension was unbearable. Backstage, no one spoke. The production assistant said you could hear only the sound of Theo pacing, breathing deeply, rehearsing lines he already knew by heart. When Mika walked on stage to sing, the lights dimmed to a deep blue. His voice cracked halfway through the chorus, the exact line that said, "You were my home until you left." The audience fell silent. And then the camera caught it, Theo's hand gripping the side of the podium, knuckles white. When Ren's name was announced as the winner, he froze. He didn't expect it. He didn't want it. But when he walked on stage to accept the trophy, the universe seemed to pause. Theo handed it to him, their fingers brushed for half a second. And in that moment, there was no applause, no music. Just two people remembering what it felt like to love without fear.